Hello, my friends. Today we're going to talk about options for Goimagine. These also might be called variations or choices or personalization. This is basically your way to allow your customers to choose between different options within your listing. So this could be an option of colors for a certain item, or an option for fonts if you were doing something with personalization. Could be an option with sets, like I have magnet sets, and it'll be like, oh, you can get a set of 5 magnets, or you can get a set of 7 magnets or 9 magnets, and then you can change the price to be more for larger sets or less for smaller sets, things like that. So there's tons and tons of ways that you can do this, and there's also personalization option where you can just leave a box for them to type in. So if you are allowing someone to pick the date to put on an ornament, for example, or a last name, or just whatever kind of text you might want, that they might want on the product, you can allow that with these options. And so it's the way to just give your customers choices. And personalized items are extremely popular. It's one huge thing that sets us apart from your average retailer. You can't go to, Walmart, Target, whatever I'm trying to think of a home store that sells home items, and I can't think of one. Maybe Pottery Barn. Is that still around? I don't know. You can't go into one of those kinds of stores and get something with your name on it, necessarily. I mean, you can find something somewhere with your name on it, but, you just don't have the options that you would have buying something from a handmade seller that can be made exactly how you want it. So that's really something that sets us apart. So in my research on making sure I'm showing y'all the right and best way to do this, I decided on the new beta dashboard. The legacy dashboard has the same options, but it's a little clunkier, it's a little harder to find, and everything looks really good to me on the new beta dashboard, so I recommend using that for your options. So that dashboard is dashboard.goimagine.com. So we can see it up here, and this has a /dashboard after it. For whatever reason, it eventually gets you there, apparently. But dashboard.goimagine.com. And then when you go there, you click over on the side under products, and then you're going to look for global options. And then when you get there, it's going to take you to this screen where you can see any global options you've already created. And then you can also have an option to add more global options. So I have quite a few, and I don't use them all, and I was confused about it when I first started, and some things have changed about it since then, but I have them all listed. There's like 80 of them. I'm not even sure how many, but you can see a few of them here. And so they show you the name and then display name and some different things there. So you can go in and you can edit these ones, or you can add a new one. And we're going to talk more about adding a new one. If you've created one and you're having a lot of trouble with it, it might be easier just to delete it and add a new one versus trying to figure out what you need to edit to make it right, in my opinion. But, you have options. So once you click the Add Global Options, then your screen looks like this here. And you've got the name of the option and then internal name of the option. So the difference here is the name is what the customer is going to see, and the internal name is what you are going to see in the background on your main page here. So you see how it says name, that's internal name, and then you see display name. It's a little confusing how they've called it different things here, but basically it's just a way to have the internal name as a way to have something that makes more sense to you, but might not be the most intuitive for a buyer. So let's say I offer t-shirts and hoodies, and I offer the t-shirts in certain colors, and I offer the hoodies in certain colors. For the name, I could just say color, And then for the internal name, I could say t-shirt colors, and then I could make another one that was for sweatshirt colors. And so I didn't get them confused, and I can see it on the back end, but the customer just sees color and it's more simple for them. And that might not be the best example, but that's the example I'm going to use right now. And then you've got position here. And so if you're going to allow more than one option, then you're going to be able to choose which one's going to be above the other. So I could put one of them as position 1, like, hey, choose your shirt color first, number 1. And then number 2, choose your color for your design that's going on your shirt, or the text that's going on your shirt or whatever, for example. So you can decide which order those are going to show up when you're actually looking at the product as a buyer. And then you've got input type, and there's several different input types to choose from. And I thought I had a screenshot of that, but I don't see it now. I can't remember what they all are, but there's a drop down. There's like radial boxes where they can check two, option A or option B kind of thing. And then there's text where they can type out exactly what they want. So that would be really important for if you wanted a name, please type the name that you want on your shirt here, that kind of thing. And there's a few others that, I don't know, maybe one of these other slides will show that. If not, maybe I'll pop over there real quick and show that. So required. Is it required? Yes or no? So if you say it's not required, then people can skip that. So you want it to be required unless, you're not worried about that. It's, I don't know, I think 9 times out of 10, the answer is going to be yes to that one. And then status, active, of course you want it active if you want people to be able to see it. You can have it not be active yet if you're not ready yet, that kind of thing. And then there's the description and there's comment. And they're very similar, but the description's going to show up, I think in right on the main page. So you'll see it when the customer's going to buy it and they select things, they'll see that description. And so you can write a longer version of color. You know what I mean? You can say, please choose your t-shirt color here, or whatever. And then comment can be if they hover over that, it'll give them even further instructions. So using both of these is going to be more common for somebody who has a lot to say, and you really want to make sure it's clear. I think it's best that you double check with someone, after you create these and make sure that they make sense, and you don't want to give too many options. It's very important that you don't offer, 10 choices of colors. It's really not necessary. You can if you want, and you can experiment, and you can have a listing that has a bunch of options and then do another listing that has half that many options and see which listing does better. I really like to experiment with things. But overall, there is a psychological known thing out there with people's minds that if they get too many choices on something, that they're likely to get overwhelmed and might not choose anything at all, or they might rush to a choice and then regret it, and just be like, oh, maybe I should have got that other color, or whatever. So you just don't want to overwhelm people too much. I know I like offering a lot of choices. I like people to feel like, I can do anything, but, you just want to be careful about how you use that. So anyway, description and comment, and then there's variants. It says down here, optional and add variant. So this is going to be for choices. You won't need this if it's text and the person writes in, I want this to say Randy, or whatever. But if there's choices between this or that, then there needs to be variants generally. So the variants is this next one here. You click add variant, and you can keep clicking that, and it will keep adding more and more down below, and then you can name each variant. So if it was color, black, red, white, gray, whatever colors you wanted there. And then for each variant, you also have the option. I was going to show that in a separate slide here, of increasing or decreasing the price. Generally for a color option, there's probably not going to be a big difference in price between them. But for me, for example, I'll say, hey, you can get a set of 5 magnets. And if you want a set of 7 magnets, it's going to be an extra $1. Or if you only want 1 magnet for some reason, I don't know if I have any like that, but if you only want 3 magnets, let's say, then you can save $1. So you can put a number here, and that's just how much more. Or if you put a negative sign in front of it, then it's going to decrease the price from the price of your item. So if your item's $10, then in this situation, the rainbow one would be $11, and the one with no color, whatever that is, would be $9. So it would save them $1 for picking that option. Now the price that's going to show on the main page is going to be that main price that you pick. One thing that some people are tempted to do is to have, and they do this on Etsy really bad, they'll have some less desirable item and they'll price it really low, and so that way the person sees that, I'm like, oh, this is a cheap item, let me look at it, whatever. And then if the person selects anything else that's actually desirable, that's one of those products, then the price is going to go way up. And the thing with that is in my opinion, the main photo that you use should reflect the price that you put. So if I show a set of 5 magnets on my main photo, then my price should be the one for the 5 magnets. And then I can make it higher for the more magnets and lower for the less magnets, but at least when the person clicked on it, the thing they saw that they clicked on that they were interested in is the price that they saw. That's kind of my thought process on that. And then you can also see these arrow up and down towards the right of here, and so you can rearrange what order these will show up in as well. So you can go along and then you're like, oh, I kind of want that to be before that type of thing. A couple of things to note at this time: there is no way, and people complain about it a lot, so I gotta say it, there is no way to say, hey, I've got 2 black and 3 red and 1 rainbow. There's no way to put an inventory number to each choice of whatever the option, the choice is. There's no way to do that. So what you really have to do is that if you've got some that you've only got 1 of, then you've just got to put in that you've got 1, and then it's going to show that you've got 1 for any of those options that they choose. If you've got some that you've got 3 and some you've got 5 and some you've got 7, then you can say you've got 3 because you have at least 3 of anything, of any one product that they choose. So that should keep you kind of safe on that. Now it is something that they have, Goimagine has said they are working on, and I do think they might be able to get that out before this holiday season. If not, I definitely would think by early next year they'll have that solved, because that's one that they have been working on and have been talking about. So then we'll be able to control the quantity, available for each individual variant or option. So keep that in mind, and, just stay tuned for that. I'll definitely mention it if, and do a video or whatever if they change that, because that's been something that a lot of people have been requesting. And I totally understand why. I get it. It doesn't affect me as much as it does others, but I definitely get it. Let's see here. Let's move on to this next one here. So this is when you're actually in the product editing page. So if you're just in editing a product, you can add an option there. So down towards the bottom of the page, there's an options section, and you can see up to the right, there's an add option. And then there's also this search your existing options. So you only need to make the option once, and then you can apply it to multiple products. So you don't want to keep making that option over and over again, because you're, just going to bog up your system. If the choices are the same, you can use that same global option for more than one product, and you would just search in here what you named it, and it should pop up, and then you're able to select it, and then you're able to delete any options that don't belong, to this product, and you're able to edit it if you realize you made a mistake with it or something. So hopefully that all makes sense. Another thing that people have requested that used to kind of be an option, but it didn't really work very well, was a color swatch or some tiny little photo. It was a little square that belonged to each individual option. So you basically could assign a photo to those options. Unfortunately, it got really confusing because it's really small. So if it's not something like a color swatch, people aren't going to be able to see it, and they got rid of it, and I don't think they're planning to bring that back. So you're going to have to make a separate photo that shows all of your color options, or a photo that shows all of your font choices or something, and I'll look real quick and see if I can find something to share for that. Have to dig through my photos here. It might be kind of like, whoa, what the heck? I got a lot of random stuff. I've got video footage of things in my neighborhood, and there's like construction projects, all sorts of random stuff in my photo feed, so we'll see what we see. But yeah, that's just another way to get there. If you go to add option, it's just going to basically take you back to here, and you're going to start, you know, adding an option in. So you can do it from the main page over here under global options, or when you're already in a product and you're editing it, you can do that from here. So hopefully that makes sense. And the last slide that I made on here was another important thing is to test out and make sure that you did everything the way that you thought it, and it looks the way that you thought it would look. So here's an example of one of mine. And so, you know, I've got a set of 8 magnets, and that's what's included in the price. And then if you got 5 magnets, then it's $5 less. And if you got only 3 magnets, it's $7 less. And in this example, this is my first photo, so it doesn't actually show how many is in it, but it gives a general idea. But, you know, so that way people can choose, and you can click on these and actually hit add to cart and see what it does, you know, to the total. So that way you can see that it's actually working the way that you think it should work, and make sure you're happy with it. So yeah, that's basically that. And then we were gonna go into here. Yeah, I have like recordings of also, oh, don't look at that. I have my I can't even think of what it's called now because I got so distracted by it. I have my stuff I'm working on for the Makers challenge. Gosh, I could not think of the words. Where is my file? Infographics. Messenger, Canva, downloads, infographics. Geez Louise. So here would be an example of 6 crystal options. And if I put, you know, rose gold, aqua blue, graphite, or whatever, you know, something really dark like that, this crystal peach, this lime green, and then this, you know, diamond color or whatever. I don't know. I'm sure I can think of better words than that. But this shows them, and if I listed those out as options for people, they would know based on this picture which ones was which. You know, they're not going to be confused by that, hopefully. I could label each of them with something as well, and I could also put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, and you choose which crystal you want or something like that. For example, I have these fonts, font 1, font 2, font 3, font 4, font 5, you know, it's pretty simple. So then if I have a product and these are the fonts that you get to choose from, then I just include this as one of the products on the page, and then, you know, on the actual listing, and then also have those, you know, listed out as my options. Hopefully that all makes sense. I'm just talking in circles right now. I have a few of them like that. These were my color swatches that I think are useless now. I've got a lot of other stuff in here too, but ornament options. This might be something that would need more labels, but, you know, white, cream, tan, brown, you know, black, gray, blue, green, you know, hopefully. It's a little too many options though, and that's kind of what I was talking about. We don't want to offer too many options, and honestly, almost everybody picks either tan, brown, or gray for the cords. So I got all these cord color options, and it's almost pointless because people don't choose that many different options. I don't think I have another good example. Oh, here's an example of color swatches that somebody could choose from. And then here's another idea, is to say, here are some options. If you have a special request, contact me. you know, something like that, to where you can just leave it open-ended, contact us for, you know, special requests, and we'll let you know if we can do it, that kind of thing. So that way, once again, you're not giving so many options, because I mean, this is what, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 options here. It's kind of a lot. So depending on what the product is, you know, it might not be worth it, but this can be a photo that you have within your Goimagine shop. So that way, if somebody is in your Goimagine shop, let's see here, let's just go goimagine.com. Let's see. Oh, and I wanted to look for the other options for you guys too. I'll look at my custom cat magnet, for example. Cat shape, classic, fluffy, or kitten. And so look here, and we can see I have a photo. It says option 1, option 2, option 3, but it's basically classic fluffy kitten. It's in the right order. I should probably make that a little bit more streamlined, because you don't want to confuse people. And you know, one thing that is really important with your Goimagine shop is, if you have listings out there, you know, your number one concern is always like, I want to make sure people can find my listings. I want to make sure I show up in search. You know, I want to make sure that. But it's like, well, once they get to your listing and they decide that they like it and the photos are good, there's also the matter of, are they confused at all? Is it becoming a problem for them at all to finish this order? So if there's anything that's stopping them from placing the order, you know, they're going to get bored, forgetful, busy. You know, if you're sitting there at the dentist waiting for your appointment, and you know, you just have a quick 5-10 minutes and you see something you want to buy, and then they call you back there for your appointment, and then 2 hours later, after you had a root canal, you're not going to be thinking about that purchase anymore, and you might forget about it. So, you know, you just want to make things quick and easy and painless for people whenever you can. And of course, different products are different than, you know, are more complicated than others. My cat magnets are pretty complicated because I'm matching photos that people send me of their cats, for example. So it's pretty complicated, you know, for me to do that for them. So that was another option I wanted to show on here, was the upload file option. So if somebody clicks this, then they're going to actually send me pictures of their cat as part of their order. So that is another option that is available when we're in the dashboard. So I wanted to look at all of the options for you. Don't show my password, please. So global options. So let's just edit this option and see. I'm on my phone, so everything's squished up. It looks completely different than what it did on my computer with those screenshots, but it should at least show us what the options are here. Here it is. So Dropbox, text, file, or checkbox is what it's offering here. So a file is to have somebody send you a photo of what they want. A lot of times this is if you're going to put a photo directly on something for them. But mine is a little bit different because I am matching and using these photos as inspiration to make the art. Some people may do that for even humans. You know, you just want pictures of this family, and then you're going to do some kind of art for them as a custom, you know, kind of a specialized thing. Usually that's, you know, pretty high level stuff, and it's good. It's awesome because not everybody can do it at all. So other ones, the drop down box, the text, and then the checkbox. I don't prefer the checkbox. I don't know. I don't even know what the checkbox entails. In fact, I don't want to mess this up here. Let's go cancel. Let's go add global option. Test. I don't even think I have to put a position in input. Checkbox required. Yes, sure. So then we go to add variants. I'll try turning this sideways. I don't know if this is gonna just like be so hard to watch. It only added one. I think it's just like you check this box if you want this thing. So it's just like a one option kind of thing, like an add-on. Gift wrapping maybe would be a good checkbox one. Something like that, I think, is what this is good for, because otherwise I think that the drop-down box makes the most sense to give them choices between one thing or another thing, or 5 things or whatever, you know, whether it be any of the things that I've discussed here. And then text is just for them to just tell you what they want, whatever it may be. So that's just kind of open to interpretation. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful. I definitely think everything should always be required. You really want to make sure you get that covered. One thing that you can do if you don't want to require something is you just say, if you don't let us know of what personalization you want, you will get something similar to the main photo on this product listing. And so you're just being very clear with them. For example, get out of here. Let's see. My internet's slow because I'm downstairs. So for example, this dragonfly magnet, I'm giving them options here. Options. Here's the options section. If they want an ornament or a magnet, and then color options. And then the color options here, I listed too many color options. Jeez, what is that? 15? Somewhere around there. And then there was surprise me option, and then other message us. I could instead offer 5 options. I really should look at doing this. And then the 5th option should just say, message us for other requests. Basically, just like what I have done right here, other message us, but just have less options and then put that there. And then if I didn't want to require this and I wanted to say it was optional, then I could do that. And then I could say, if you don't message me, then it's going to be red. I don't know. I don't even know why red is an option, to be honest with you. I don't think I picked very good colors for my dragonfly, where my photos are either this turquoisey color, a darker teal kind of color, a purple color, a blue, you know, white. Like, those are normal kinds of colors that you would expect dragonflies to be. I wouldn't really expect them to be red or black as just the option. I mean, black, I guess. But yeah, you get, I think I'm making my point here and probably over making it. Just be careful with what you do. Don't provide too many options. And I think it's just easier to make it required as opposed to letting that be optional. On Etsy, I know if you require personalization, some people can't do certain personalization if they're in the app or something. I don't know if they fixed that or changed that, but that was the case for a while, and so that could become an issue. You don't want to discourage anybody from making a purchase, but I don't think that's an issue anymore, and I don't think it's an issue with Goimagine at all, so I would make it required. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this helped explain the options better and you know how to do it. Honestly, the most important thing is just to experiment, put an option in, and then look and see how it reacted with your listing. Before you associate it with other listings, before you do anything else. And that's the other thing is after you make and you should make the options early on if you can. If you have 100 items and now you're creating options, it's a little bit more difficult to get those associated back with the all the listings. So if you need them to be associated with all the listings, there might be a way to do that in the legacy dashboard under the bulk editing. I was gonna work on that a little bit more and look into the bulk editing a little more, so I'll do that, but not sure. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos that go through step-by-step on Goimagine. I'm going to try to focus a little more on that. I've gotten some feedback that a lot of folks are just trying to figure out exactly how to do certain things, and they're not finding as much help for that than they expected. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on here. So yeah,